I believe. Carrie is on. All right, YouTube fans out there, DII, how are you guys doing? Welcome to the DII Ukulele Live Show on YouTube. And I'm excited today because we have an awesome special guest. I'm coming to you live from Long Beach, and the special guest today is going to be awesome. He's going to be sharing a lot of great stuff about ukulele. So before I start, let me introduce this gentleman. He's a musician, a composer, educator, author, jazz ukulele, of a jazz ukulele book. Went to the Berklee College of Music in Boston and plays not only ukulele, but plays drums, vibraphone, and ukulele. Actually, ukulele is his third instrument. So I don't want to talk too much. Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to speak with this gentleman, do an interview, get some tips from him, and afterwards I'll give a little bit about what's happening with Dave's Island Instruments and upcoming events. So you guys are in for a treat. This gentleman has been an inspiration ever since I started playing ukulele, and I'm just so excited because it's weird that I have him here for an interview. So let's give it up for Mr. Abe Lagrimas. Actually, I need to change my screen here.
You need
bigger.
Okay.
Wait.
You got to have a canned laughter or can applause.
Yeah, the can. Oh, I do have it actually. I actually do have the can.
You really?
Yeah,
you really do.
Yeah, that's funny. Actually, let me change my screen here. This thing is tripping, and I'm gonna add you. Oh, okay, there we go. There he is.
Is it working?
Yeah, now it's working. Oh, now it's not
Sweet.
working. Minus me. I'm gonna minus me, and there you are. Yay!
Yeah.
Abe Lagrimas, how you doing?
What's up, everybody?
How's it going?
Sorry, I'm checking something right now. I think someone is trying to watch.
Interesting.
Maybe they're having trouble. Hold on.
YouTube Live DII. You have to go to
YouTube Live DII.
Yes.
Is there a backslash in there?
No. Just go to
Okay.
YouTube and then look up DII and you'll have it.
Oh yeah, I got some people trying to. They're like messaging me.
They're like, hey, where is it?
They're like, how do I find it? Okay, what is it? YouTube Live?
Yeah.
One word?
Oh no, just YouTube. Just go to YouTube and then DII is what you're searching for.
Sorry, man.
Oh, it's all good.
Okay. Anyways, I'll let them figure it out.
All right. I think I have all your stuff up here. IG. I didn't put Facebook. Oh my gosh, where's the other
stuff? Yeah, actually, I don't see it.
Are we live, Carrie? We are on.
Oh, I'm on the DII page though. Am I just doing it wrong?
I'm looking right now too.
Okay. Oh yeah, I had someone message like, are you guys starting late? Yeah, is there a link that you could just send over?
Let me see here. Hold on a second. I'm lagging hard. So.
Oh, it's all good.
All right, cool. All right. I'm gonna pause that. The link. YouTube.com/watch WATCH ? V lowercase equals T9 Q H J K N Q and then gig GIG.
All right, let's hope this
Yeah,
works.
hopefully that works. So, folks out there, if you're watching, sorry for the technical difficulties. We got started late a little bit here, so just having a few laggies. But Abe Lagrimas is here.
Yeah, I'm not getting it actually.
Did that work, Abe?
Wait, I couldn't hear.
All right, hold on. Go again, Carrie. YouTube.com/hand pans at DII. All one word.
Okay. Handpans app DII. Yeah, right. Okay.
Good?
No, yeah, I was on this page, but there's no like live thing. I don't see a live thing.
Yeah, I'm watching it right now.
So I'm on the page, and then it should just be there, right?
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah, I'm actually not seeing it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's live. Are you there? Oh, two watching now. Yeah, somebody just got it.
What?
How is it unlisted? Okay, we're coming back. We're gonna finish. I'm gonna come back. Are we? Oh no! Wait. No. She's got it.
Wait, are the two people watching you guys?
It might be.
Yeah.
Hold on. Hold on a second. I think somebody's. Is it listed now? All right, we should be listed now. Sorry, technical difficulties. Everybody, please refresh their page.
Aha, there it is.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yay.
There
Sorry.
it is.
Sorry, guys. Woo! Oh, that only took 10 minutes. Alrighty. It's funny.
Oh, that actually did take 10 minutes.
It did take 10 minutes.
Yeah.
That's kind of funny. That's so hilarious. Time flies when
Is
you're
it
having fun.
okay. Aha. So I see what you did here. It's like a split screen sort of deal.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now it's just you right now. Abe Lagrimas. Here he is. I got all his info on the page. You guys, he's taken his time out to share his information, so make sure if you guys feel that this information is good, check out his Venmo and his PayPal or his merch. He has some great merch. I have his Instagram on there. Definitely follow him. But let's talk a little bit, Abe.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I was talking a little bit. You were one of my inspirations on in playing ukulele. Once I started learning how to play ukulele, and one place that I found you was on the ukulele resource site, or it's tied to the ukulele site.
Ukulele site, right?
Yeah, and he was
And
playing.
Hawaii.
Yeah, he was playing Blackbird, and I was just amazed that you could do that on a ukulele, and it was just pretty awesome. But how did and we first met. Where was it? Where did we meet again? I think it was Ohana Ukuleles, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We were doing some. I gotta bring the mic closer to me here. Can you hear me? You can hear me. All right. Is that better?
Oops.
I guess everybody's saying, yeah. Yeah. Is my mic
Oh,
better?
I can hear you.
Eagle?
I can hear you loud and clear.
All right. Cool. 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 All right.
Yeah.
We met. Wait, Ohana ukuleles, wasn't it? And then you were doing the
Yeah.
bongalele thing.
I
And
was
then,
doing. Oh, right. And you were shooting it,
yeah, that's right.
and I was demoing their bongolele and
Yeah, yeah.
shaker lele at
That
Ohana.
that's so awesome. I love that. Um,
Yeah.
but let's see. My first question, actually, for you would be, how long have you been playing ukulele?
Mm.
Can you tell you a little bit
I
about your
I
story?
picked it up. Sorry, I'm having my coffee still right now.
It's all good.
I'm
I'm drinking
I'm
water.
waking up.
I'm drinking water. So.
I picked it up in 2003. I was just starting my third year in college actually. Is that right? Yeah, that's about right. Um, kind of as a joke, like not knowing that I was actually gonna keep playing this thing. Um, I think at that point I was hanging out with one of my friends who was also from Hawaii. We were both living in Boston together. We went to different music schools, but we're from Hawaii, and we actually had a jazz group when we were still in high school back in Hawaii.
Right.
And we were both living in Boston, and we just decided that we were going to form. Um, oh, sorry. I picked up the uke. I started jamming it, and then all of a sudden it turned into, hey, let's form a group. Let's play some Hawaiian music. That's that's kind of that's kind of how it started. But I remember I was borrowing his uke. I was just messing around with it, and I was like, oh, this is kind of neat. So I asked him, hey, could I hold on to this and take it home with me? And he was like, yeah. He wasn't even playing it. Um, and if you guys are wondering, my friend's name is Randy Wong, who now is actually he's the executive director for the Hawaii Youth Symphony back in Hawaii.
Right.
But yeah, so and we ended up forming a group, and it's and because I was living in Boston, I got homesick quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
So when I started playing ukulele, it was this neat thing because it kind of like because I was missing Hawaii so much. I missed my family, my friends, the food, everything. So by me playing ukulele, it's kind of like I was bringing Hawaii to me.
Right.
So it kind of yeah. So that was like the start of my whole like ukulele career, and I took it home, and then I started playing, and then I couldn't put the thing down. So
I know the
I was
feeling.
listening.
I know the
Yeah,
feeling.
I was, and then I was like, man, I want to learn how to play this thing. So I started streaming like Hawaiian music. I was always around Hawaiian music, like growing up in Hawaii, but I didn't really listen to a lot of it, like with you know intention of like studying it and just like listening and listening to what's going on.
Right.
In Hawaiian music, it was just always kind of in the background.
No, I hear that.
But then when I picked up the ukulele, I kind of wanted to kind of get more into it again.
Mm-hmm.
And then with that, because I was in music school, I was studying jazz and I was playing a lot of jazz. So that was my natural approach to the instrument, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to form a group with my buddy to play Hawaiian music and tunes that we kind of grew up listening to. So a lot
Nice.
of Owl Crater Boys,
Yeah.
all of those tunes,
Honey Baby.
and the music that we grew up listening to, this was all pre-Jake. So Jake wasn't really like he was probably like starting to come up during that time.
Did you know Jake at the time, or?
Yeah, I think he was still with Pure Heart at that time.
Yeah. I heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was like, even he was starting to make a name for himself.
That's awesome.
So as far as like ukulele players, it was like the only two people or the only few people I knew were Troy Fernandez of Ka'au,
Yeah.
Ota-san, because he's like, everybody knows Ota-san. He's legendary.
Yeah.
And then Roy Sakuma, who's more well known in Hawaii as a ukulele educator. And that was pretty much all I knew. And then I actually did know Lyle Ritz, great jazz ukulele player. But I knew Lyle originally as a bass player first.
Wow.
Yeah, and we actually played a few gigs together back in Hawaii. So, and then not knowing at the time that Lyle Ritz is like a giant in the ukulele, the jazz ukulele world,
It's funny how you meet people like that, and you just
yeah, it's crazy. Because when I met him, I met him as a bass player,
Right.
And then someone told me about how he was part of the Wrecking Crew, the LA elite studio musicians,
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So what? Like, I know you were a drummer first, right? And then
Yeah.
vibraphone or vibe. I can't.
Yeah, I started playing the vibes in high school.
Yeah.
In high school, yeah.
Oh wow, cool. And so ukulele is actually your third instrument.
It's my third instrument, yeah. But actually now, as of the last couple of months, I've been playing it way more because there's no gigs,
Yeah.
I can't play drums anymore. And when I am in LA, I'm usually gigging on drums. I don't really gig as a ukulele player in LA.
Well, now now we're doing live stuff, so we're gonna see a lot more ukulele from Abe. So that's awesome.
Right. Teaching online and putting videos out and everything, and doing these online collaborations with friends.
No, this is actually
musical
fun
colleagues.
I think it's fun because I know as performers, like everybody's all over the place, and then to actually do it virtually, you can get people together, even though you guys aren't together. And I was watching earlier on the test for Craig Cheese Ook Fest, and that was pretty cool. I was just like, there's a lot of cool stuff going on.
Yeah.
So cool. All right, so a couple questions, and then also for the audience, if you guys have any questions, we'll do a question answer afterwards. So please start annotating your questions if you have anything for Abe. But one of the first questions I always ask people, especially in teaching, is, why ukulele? Why? I know you kind of touched on it a little bit, but what is it about the ukulele that you like so much?
It's there's a lot of answers that that I could start with. Well, I think the obvious answer is that it's a very popular instrument,
Right.
And it's hard not to, like, you don't hear people, or you don't hear a lot of people like putting down the instrument, people are usually excited about, like, oh, ukulele, that's great, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So people are usually excited about it. They're intrigued. They're and this is what I see a lot too, is I meet a lot of people who wish they had music in their life, and either they regret like picking up an instrument when they were younger, but then with the ukulele, it's kind of the like a good gateway into reintroducing music into your life, especially and also if you want to actually play an instrument. One of the great things about the ukulele is that because of its small size, it's easy on the hands,
Yeah.
For generally speaking.
Yes.
It's easy to pick up, and it's very portable. It's affordable, So it's really easy to get one. It's accessible, and so on top of that, also when you strum it for the first time, it actually is quite a pleasant sound,
Oh, I got it.
So it has a lot of appeal. Like it's kind of hard to sound like really bad on the ukulele, Like if you pick up the ukulele for the first time and you play, that's how it's going to sound. And then you take that same person and you have them pick up like a violin. It's not going to sound the same,
Right.
The violin's going to sound like a cat scratching on a chalkboard, But then with the uke, you can sound pretty good after 5 minutes, 10 minutes, just kind of messing around with the thing.
No, and I love seeing that too when you teach people.
Yeah. So I think because of that, people are immediately drawn to it, and then which results to people wanting to learn,
Mm-hmm.
and it was kind of the same experience for me as when I picked it up. I knew what it was, and I heard it my whole life. Again, I grew up in Hawaii, so I heard it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But it was only until I picked it up and actually tried to figure things out, that's when I realized, whoa, this is actually a serious instrument. Like it's just as serious as any other instrument,
Nice.
And I think because I had that realization, I think that's what kind of made me want to. I feel like when I play and when I write and when I perform, I want to push the envelope. I want to kind of push the boundaries of that instrument. Because a lot of people think that ukulele, you can't really do much on it.
Right.
You could strum 4 chords.
I get that a lot.
You could totally do that, but there's this whole other world.
Actually,
that you could do.
You've been introducing that a lot, and I watch you play, and fortunately, I get the chance to watch you play a lot, and it's just so amazing. I just watch your hands; it's awesome. You're flying.
Thanks. I mean, I want to try to to do new things and do introduce new ideas and approaches for the instrument.
I get it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
No, that's totally awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Yeah, that's a good why. I love it. You're
cool.
A great musician. You're killing it right now. Actually, next question. Most memorable moment with the ukulele?
Oh. Memorable moment. You know what? The one that kind of sticks out is it was for kind of a closed event actually, but it was at the Walt Disney Concert Hall.
Right.
And so it was packed, but it was kind of like this event that was it was like a semi-private event, Mm-hmm. But so I had to play vibraphone. My friend invited me because he was playing. He wanted to play duo. He was a saxophone player, but he asked me to back him up, and so I played vibes and ukulele with him. So just being able to play kind of a featured musician at Walt Disney Concert Hall and to play ukulele was kind of awesome.
Just playing at Walt Disney, that's pretty cool.
Just to play at Walt Disney, yeah.
That must have been super memorable. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy. I remember I do have a picture somewhere, just like holding my uke on the stage, right in the front of the stage. Oops, sorry.
Lost you.
Yeah. Am I still there?
Yeah, you're still there. Gotcha.
Okay, I
cool.
knocked my earphones. Yeah, it's pretty awesome to be able to play, ukulele.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also just brought me to crazy places that I never would have expected, performing and going to.
Yeah, I know you travel all over the world. Europe. I remember one time you were saying you were going to Dubai and you played the vibraphone there. Still, I was like, whoa.
Maybe not Dubai, but some other interesting places I've been. Yeah. No, that's awesome. I'd love to go to Dubai though.
I thought you did. Didn't you play for
I didn't go. No.
Oh, you didn't go. Oh, I thought.
Oh, I think you might be talking about. It was
a Middle East thing.
Istanbul.
Oh, that's where you went.
Istanbul.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and the Turkish president was there.
Yeah. That's so crazy. Question. Actually, I have Damon Grewal. He has a question here.
What's up, Damon?
He asked, do you teach kids, and how do the new kids react to it?
Ooh, I used to teach kids. I don't teach kids anymore. I'm kind of picky when it comes to accepting students. Yeah, because generally, I'm not I'll take kids, but I want to make sure. Yeah. I want to make sure that the kids are serious. I used to teach these kids as recently as a couple of years ago, actually, and They're very serious, and we got a lot done. So I do teach kids.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit of everything when I teach kids. It's because in the end they want to usually play songs.
Right.
So I do a balance of both, introducing songs, but then also kind of developing technique as well,
I think
and
it's kind of tough
skills.
because I get a lot of questions about that too. Like, do
Yeah.
you teach kids? And then sometimes
Hmm.
they'll say like, the first question I would ask them is like, how old are they? And then like 5 to 8, and
Right.
then try to find out if it was them that actually wanted to play ukulele. Because
Oh
sometimes
yeah.
I've been, so you're gonna play ukulele, and then they bring them to me,
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah, they're not even interested. It's like,
Right. Yeah, so I mean, usually I don't start off. I won't give them. I don't usually teach kids if they're picking it up for the first time.
yeah.
You know. Um,
I think a better
uh,
question would be like, what age do you think ukulele or kids are for ukulele to start ukulele?
right.
Good
I mean,
age.
the kid I was teaching was about like 8 or 9.
Mm-hmm.
And I was with him for maybe about 4 years actually.
Yeah.
Um, so I think around that age, but all kids
It's
are
all
all over the
yeah
place.
yeah.
Yeah, like there could be really talented when, I mean, just go on YouTube and search ukulele kid. They're
There's a
like
lot of them. Yeah.
they're like killing it. They're like better than almost all the adults out there.
Well,
So
I think because of YouTube nowadays, people can just watch your fingers and then just like go for it.
right,
And they
yeah,
get to
and I
see.
think for kids, they get all that information a lot quicker than
Yes.
adults.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, and
totally.
that's the reason why there's so many kids who are amazing
No, there's
ukulele
so
players.
many amazing guys right now.
Yeah,
It's so unbelievable. So, all
yeah.
right, Damon, thanks for the question. Hopefully that answers your question there. My next question would be favorite ook players and influences.
Ooh,
Ooh.
influences. Favorite uke players. Oh, geez. I mean, I remember seeing James Hill like years ago,
Yeah, he's awesome.
and I think that he was the first ukulele player to like really just blow my mind because like not only like the music was great, his technique was great, his sound and style was like original too,
Hmm.
and what he was doing was really great. And for me, like as someone who I think I spent a lot of time on technique, things like that. I think I look at those things,
Yeah.
maybe more so than some other ukulele players. So I appreciate that, and when I listen to him, it's like I know that he's he's got it down, worked it all out. Obviously, Jake. What I love about Jake is his execution and his sound.
Hmm.
I mean, on top of that, great performer.
Yeah. He was,
But just if we're looking at just the ukulele and how he plays it, it's perfection, great sound, clean, everything.
yeah, his technique is so good.
Um, yeah. Benny Chong. Benny Chong is another one.
Benny is
Yeah.
so good.
I've been really fortunate enough to play with him, quite a bit.
Uh-huh.
Um, and
Didn't you go to China
he
with him last
he
year?
always like pushes me. Yeah. We went to China together.
Yeah.
Um, toured all over China, and that was a riot. That guy's he's so much fun. But it's always a learning experience, when I play with him.
Yes.
There's all these really, really neat chords. And actually, that's one of the things I've been working on myself is like when I see him play, I know I can see what's happening, but if I were to do it in real time, like how he's doing it, it's so like mind blowing, So it's kind of like I'm taking his concepts and trying to make it more of a natural thing,
Yeah.
So that's actually what I'm working on right now.
Actually,
But
since you just
yeah.
mentioned that, for all the beginners out there and stuff like that, you said
Hmm.
you're trying to learn. What's that process on what you just said?
Oh, okay. It's being inspired by something, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and then, you know, because usually if you see something cool, it's like, ooh, I want to do that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's usually the first response. And that's what I get, you know, when I hear him play, you know, when I hear Benny Chong play, he'll do these crazy chords and it's going to sound amazing. So like I said, whenever I would see him play, the thing is harmonically, I know what's going on, but physically I have to do it to really, really understand it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, the most important thing is when you're learning anything is to, kind of first you wrap your head around it, like what's the goal here, what do you have to accomplish, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you understand that concept, then you actually have to like apply it and practice it, and then until it becomes, you know, like second nature, until it becomes part of your vocabulary, so that when you do play, boom, it just comes out like right away naturally, you know. Yeah. So when I practice it, it's one thing to be able to execute it. It's another thing to really, really own it almost, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and have that skill under your belt. To me, that's what should happen when you practice. Execution is kind of like surface level if you could do it, you know, a few times. But then to do it without thinking, do it while watching TV.
Yes.
Yes.
It's like kung fu.
Do it exactly like it's like things should just happen, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get it to that point, then you've reached your goal, you know.
No, I love hearing that because like you know, I see that just with anything basically. Like I'm a skateboarder, and like some people like they go, oh wow, I just did a trick, you know, and I go, well, can you do it 3 times, you know,
right,
in a row,
man,
you know,
same thing for music,
same
right?
Thing, yeah.
Play this passage, play these 4 measures, you know, a few times, you know.
Yeah, can you do it?
And then once you get that passage, see if you can actually play getting into that passage and then coming out of that passage, you know.
No, I'm glad you're sharing that with us, because like sometimes we see people as they're, you know, they become really good, but only when they're really good. But you never saw the years that they practiced to get to that actual point, which is pretty awesome. And I love picking your brain on that. It's cool. Thanks, Abe.
Cool, man. Yeah, man.
So talking about practice, can you give like our big thing here at DII in the classes is keep on strumming every day. If you guys ever been to my classes, you know, I say every day, and then everybody says keep on strumming. But I just want to kind of, big thing is practice. Practice. You always hear, like, I always talk to people that are really good, and they're like, yeah, you just got to practice. And but like one of the things that, like, what do I practice, or you know, what is your practice routine? And what I've done is on my YouTube channel, I wanted to see somebody's practice, so I did mine for 15 minutes. And then, you know, I kind of want to see, like, you know, what do you practice? Do you have like a routine before you even start, or you just get into it?
Yeah, okay. I don't have like a routine, you know. There's not something that I always do, you know. I mean, there's obviously finger warm-ups, and you know, there's the usual like 1, 2, 3, 4, you know. There's that thing, and then you could descend it, obviously. So what I did with that warm-up is I actually took that to the next level, where you apply it across this way. So it's kind of like, you know, and then you can climb the fretboard that way. It's just a variation of that finger warm-up, you know, that 1, 2, 3, 4. But you know, for me, I'm always moving the hand, moving the muscles, you know, but I think what I'm constantly conscious about, is that right? what I'm always conscious about is whenever I'm playing anything, whether it's like noodling or you know, playing chords or strumming, whatever it is, the sound has to be clear, you know. So I try to make sure that I'm not hearing any like fret buzz or muted strings, or if I need the strings to sustain, like I make sure that all of that stuff is happening, you know. Like if I'm So if I could be noodling, you know, something like this, or so I'm just constantly moving my fingers around, you know, and just kind of, you know, playing random chords here and there. But I guess a good exercise is to see if you can noodle like constantly, without any plan, you know, what you're gonna do, but always try to maintain a good sound, you know. So I do this like literally for hours, you know.
No, I
I
get
just
it.
sit in my room and I'll just kind of play, you know, like improvise, like complete random, you know. You know, something like that. And I just keep going, you know, and just noodling. And there were some mistakes, you know, like fret buzz. I'd kind of get my hands would just kind of slip somewhere, you know. But just that constant playing of just continuous like finger movements, both on the right hand and then also on the left hand, you know.
Right.
And you could just literally be going between. If I mean, with that, you know, that's something that I would do, and I'm obviously moving all over the fretboard. But you could literally do this to like go back and forth between like C and F, for example, you know,
Right.
and just kind of move between a couple of frets. So I'll do the same thing with just like simplified chords, you know, so just between C and F.
Nice.
You know,
Wow.
yeah,
Well, like
and
for me, like, you know, I see it. You have your finger technique. Like when you first started, were your fingers like that?
yeah. No. Oh, another thing I do want to mention that to practice both hands, you know.
Yeah.
I think my battery thing. To practice both hands, you know, we spend so much time. I think, you know, most ukulele players, like they focus. It's like 80% left hand, and then like 20% right hand. You know,
Right.
there's so much. Like this stays the same, you know, between all ukulele players. You know, as far as like what we're doing on the left hand, the right hand is kind of up to you. You know. Because these shapes are set, you know, F, C, G7. It's set. There's no way around it, you know. But what's open as far as like the possibilities is what you could do on the right hand. You know, the sky's the limit pretty much when it comes to what you can do with the right hand. You know, the combinations of finger picking, the different permutations, the way. The amount of fingers you're using, like, are you strumming with, you know what I mean? You can strum with your thumb and do some finger picking. velocity, how hard or how soft you're playing, you know?
Right.
Like, and your right hand, and I think this is often overlooked, your sound is pretty much coming from the right hand. So the sound that you hear when you play is all on the right hand.
Yeah.
You know, this is what's producing the sound. So if you want to, you know, improve, if you're playing and you're like, oh, I'm not really happy how I sound, you know, play something really simple on the left hand, like C and F,
right,
and then see if you can make that sound, you know, really good by you know, developing your technique on the right hand.
Awesome.
You know,
yeah. So in the beginning, did you have like practices that you actually did that to train your hand, or?
When I first picked up the ukulele, I was playing jazz. Mm-hmm. So when I would learn these jazz standards, I immediately was thinking like Joe Pass, you know, like solo jazz guitar, you know.
Okay.
So I was trying to recreate that sound on the ukulele, you know.
Which you've done very well.
I'm trying. So I was always trying to recreate like warm, like how do I get this warm sound, you know, warm sound equals, you know, jazz, especially when it comes to like solo jazz, you know. So, you know, and and I have developed this technique where I play like pretty much with only the pads of my fingers, and if you look at my nails, my nails are very, very short.
Yeah, that's trippy to me, actually, yeah.
And a lot of ukulele players, they grow out their nail and they can use it as a pick, right?
Yeah, I have a little one.
But all of the finger picking thing that I do, and if I'm picking even single notes, and even when I improvise jazz, it's all with the pad of my fingers. And so because of that, I'm able to get this kind of fat big warm sound. Yeah, it's not really that bright, like picking sound. You know what I mean?
No,
it's more of a warmer, thicker, fatter sound.
No, I've watched it.
And it's just something that I've, and it's not like I was purposely looking for that. It's just kind of how I naturally approached to playing the music. You know, like I said, I was playing jazz. And that's the sound that I wanted to hear when I was playing these tunes. I needed it to be warm, so a lot of thumb and a lot of the pads of the fingers, you know. Yeah.
No, that's awesome because I see all the different ukulele players, and they do have different techniques, and they do have their different sound, and I think that's when the individual. That's when the individual your practice gets you to your, how your sound is going to come out, but your music is your music, and that's it comes from you, and that's where I believe music comes from. It's from people. So, yeah. Please tilt camera. Oh, can you tilt your camera a little bit, Abe, so they can see your right hand? Yeah. So they want to see your right hand.
Aha.
Yeah.
Now you want to see my secrets.
Yeah, they totally want to see the secrets.
Either
or you just back up. Yeah.
Or I need to back up. Let me try this. Let me scoot this thing back. Okay.
Nice.
I'll play a little bit higher, but
Yeah.
Is that better?
Yeah,
okay.
That looks good. That looks good.
So when I play, I use 3 fingers, but obviously you could use 2. You could play with just your thumb. You know, that's entirely up to the player. You know, what they're comfortable with. You know.
Yeah, like for me, for example, like I use my thumb on the top string, I have a low G, and then I use my index finger to control the middle 2. And then, and then I use the middle finger to control the bottom. But I notice like people do different, they use all 4 fingers.
Right. And it's something, and when I teach, my students, I just show them my way, but I don't tell them like, oh, you got to learn my way.
Exactly.
Figure out what you're comfortable with, what works for you, and then work on that and making that into something that seems very natural for you,
That's an awesome.
So I'll just kind of noodle again between C and F, but as far as like my right hand, it's not a planned picking. I'm not going like first string, third string, fourth string. You know what I mean? It's all. I'm just trying to keep this constant flow of notes, and then sometimes I'll throw in some doubles in there, like that.
Everybody watch his hands.
you go.
Yeah.
You know?
That's awesome.
And you have yourself a tune, you know?
Yeah. I hope everybody was watching his fingers. I saw him using 3, which is cool.
Yeah.
I use 4, but everybody's different. So, and I think it depends on the size of your fingers and your hands and all that other stuff. So that's kind of crazy. Thank you, Abe.
Yeah, man.
I have a
Of course.
question from Amy.
Ooh, question.
Amy
Amy.
Izushima. She's awesome, actually. I just want to give her a shout out. She's one of the students
All
that was coming
right,
to our
Amy.
Ook social, and she contacted me the other day and wants to do an Ook social with a local group here. So maybe we can get you on one of those later on. But her question is, what's your favorite song or tune to play on the ukulele? Great question. Great question.
That's a tough one.
There's so many. Yeah.
I'm the thing is, I'm terrible when it comes to song because that's a tough one. I think what I like to find, so if you look at like some of the videos that I play, or if you've seen me perform, I like if it's a cover song, I try to find a way how I can play that piece like as a solo piece on the instrument. Like for example, like when Daniel saw me playing Blackbird, it's something specific that I work out where, because I play solo, I don't sing, so I have to cover the chords, the melody, and when something works really nicely on the ukulele, then that usually translates to me enjoying how that song kind of works out on the instrument. I'm trying to think of something that I play that kind of. I'll play Blackbird for a little bit,
Yeah, Blackbird.
Well, how does it go?
I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah. So I kind of made this arrangement up. I'll just play a little bit of it,
Yeah. For those of you guys that, if you guys want to get these tabs, I'm going to put it on the board, but it is in the Ook social.
So for me, it kind of doesn't really matter what song it is. If I find a place where I can where that song really sits nicely on the instrument, if it just sounds good on with that particular key, it kind of doesn't matter what song it is, Mm-hmm. If I know the song Blackbird, and then I just hear it coming out of the instrument, it's like, oh, that's I like it already,
Right.
And like what song do I enjoy playing? It's kind of tough because sometimes I want to like rock out and just like strum some. I just want to strum C and G, for example. It all depends on like my mood, how I'm feeling, like who I'm playing music with.
Mm-hmm. Is there a specific style of music that you like? I know jazz is your thing right now, but
jazz is my thing. I enjoy writing original music, because then it's like I'm not only testing the instrument, meaning I'm trying to find different ways of that continue to inspire me, when I play this instrument. So it's almost like when I write is like I'm trying to hopefully surprise myself and still try to learn things about this instrument that I haven't known.
Nice.
So when I have moments like that, that's what I really enjoy.
Nice.
Just always being surprised by the instrument.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, Amy, I hope that answers your question.
It's kind of a deep answer, but
yeah. Amy's awesome. She's a new ukulele player coming up.
Oh, cool.
And she's actually, she contacted me the other day and wants to get the Ook social going. So, Amy, we're gonna do this and we're gonna have fun.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you for the practice routine. That's awesome. And we're getting towards the end, but
okay.
For the new beginners out there and novices, can you like either share with us or show us 3 tips or tricks to help you better your ukulele playing? I guess. Yeah.
Okay. Let me try to do this in a short amount of time.
Yeah. There you go.
First thing is tune the instrument. Learn how to tune the instrument. Obviously, there's you could buy tuners. A tuner is great, but also learn how to tune the instrument with maybe just one reference note. For example, I always start with so I play a high G ukulele, and I always start with that 4th string. So what I would do, and I think this to me seems to work best for the most part, is tune this with a tuner, high G. And then what I would do is I would just tune all the strings going this way. So I would use the 1st string as a reference, and then the next string, the C string, that G should match up with the G up on the 7th fret here. Okay, so right now I don't know if you can hear it, but it's slightly low.
Yeah. I know your ear is crazier than mine.
Yeah, and the thing is, what's great is the more you do this, the more you'll train your ear to hear, these differences. And then you can always check. And once you finish tuning it, if it sounds bad, it's probably not in tune. You know what I mean? So the more you do this, the better you're gonna get. So tune the first, tune your C string to that G. Okay, then when you're done with that, tune your E string to the same note, and that's going to be on the 3rd fret here. So also G. Okay. Now when you have the 4th, 3rd, and E string tuned up all to G, then what I like to do is to see if all of these 3 Gs are all in tune. So I would do this. Okay. Sounds pretty good. Okay. Now the last string, obviously we can't tune to a G because this open string is tuned to an A, which is higher. Mm-hmm. So I would still take the 4th string and play it on the 2nd fret here to get the note A, and then I would use this as my reference to tune the A.
Oh wow.
So that's a little low, and I've been using this tuning method for years, and it seems to work really, really nicely. And then once you have it all tuned that way, then you double check it. You're still not done. You want to still hear how it sounds when you play certain chords. So play play a lot of open chords, C, F, G, and to me it sounds really good. Tuning is a really funny thing because our ears, I don't know if some of you guys know this, but our ears are actually used to hearing things that aren't perfectly in tune. So if something is like literally perfectly in tune, it's going to sound a little off.
That's interesting you say that.
I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
No, I kind of get it because I've done that before where I thought I just tuned and then I was like, doesn't sound right, but it was actually
yeah.
It was actually
so
really
if you're perfectly in tune, sometimes it might not sound right.
Yeah.
So if you have to alter or change something, do that if to make it sound in tune.
Awesome.
Yeah.
No, I get that because sometimes we get lower end ukuleles and they're not tuned and stuff like that, and
Right.
then that causes you not to play the ukulele because it doesn't sound good. So
Right, and that might you might be discouraged by that.
yeah.
That was one thing. taking very long here.
No, it's all good. No.
The second thing, I think we talked about it earlier, is just the sound that's coming out of your instrument. It's got to be. I see this a lot where they're playing chords and it's just like it's a very timid sound.
Right.
Learn to play, like, let the instrument play and resonate.
Mm-hmm.
Practice playing loud, because I actually in my experience I see more people playing softer than louder, and I think people should explore. You guys should explore the sonic possibilities, the dynamic possibilities of this instrument.
That
it is small. Yeah. It's a small instrument, but it and that's the reason why Jake is Jake. He plays at a very, very wide dynamic range.
Right.
There's soft parts. There's parts where he goes crazy.
Uh-huh.
So exploring all of those different sonic and dynamic possibilities is a good way. Again, that's all right hand. It's all right hand. If you play soft, you're gonna do soft finger picking. If you play loud, you're gonna strum really, really hard.
So the tip would be practice dynamics, I would say.
A lot of different dynamics, and again, it's all going to be in the right hand. So which means different. You're going to have to apply different techniques.
Cool.
Strumming, and then also finger picking. Yeah. The third thing, I'm going to have 4. Is that okay?
No, that's fine. Actually, we have one question. So after you finish that, it's
okay.
Rhea.
I'll keep it down to 3. Is to, have fun. And I know we're locked up right now, and I play solo, but it's also play. It's all, you learn so much by playing with other people too. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And we can't really do that right now. But when you play with other people, you will learn things on your own that you won't even know about.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it's stuff that you can learn from a book. You have to just experience it, and learn it from yourself.
Oh, absolutely.
So playing with other people is very valuable. And then your role changes, instantly when you're playing with other people. You can't just play like how you normally play,
No, you gotta play with
because there's someone else. Yeah, there's someone else you're having to interact musically with.
Yeah.
And then the last thing is to just have fun with it, man. We all have different aspirations as ukulele players, but I think the same we have one common goal, is that we all want to sound good, right?
Yeah.
we all want to sound good doing it, so like
we want to be the best we can be, I should say.
Right.
I don't think you can be the best ukulele player because you're continuing to learn. I think you're up there with like the top ones, but just keep on going is one good thing. Have fun. I like that.
Yeah.
Rhea Borgia
Rhea
is asking. Let's see. That was the wrong one. Hold on. Let's.
I hope I have.
Can you go over? Left. Oh yeah, really quick. Can you go over the blues scales?
The blues scale. Yes.
Actually, I want to hear this too. So that's awesome.
Okay. The actual blues scale. Okay, so I'll do it in C. Let's see, how many notes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 if you count the top note. Okay. So in the key of C, I'll just play it for you. I'll do it real close here. Where's the camera? There it is. So. So there's a blues scale, and you could play it backwards. So there's your blues scale.
Wow.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7. So if I'm starting, I'll quickly point out the notes. So starting on the low C, next note is on the 3rd fret. Okay. So the blues scale is actually it's a minor scale.
Oh, it's a it's
a minor.
Oh,
it's a minor bass scale. So yeah, technically speaking, if someone says the blues scale, it is a minor bass scale. And what's interesting about the blues scale is that despite it being a minor bass scale, you could actually use this scale over major blues and minor blues, and it's funny how that works, but it just works,
Yeah.
That's something you just kind of have to accept in music, because if someone's playing a minor chord and someone plays a major chord, that's kind of like a big no-no. But for some reason, if you play this minor scale over a major blues, it still works.
It still works. Oh, okay.
And I think that's the magic of the blues. It's because of that minor, it adds to that bluesiness quality, in music. So 1, and then next note is on the 3rd fret. On the next string, you have 1, 2, 3. So it's a chromatic progression there.
Nice.
Of those 3 notes. And the next thing, first string, 1, 1st fret, and then you're back at C. So.
Yeah.
It sounds bluesy already. I'm
does.
playing it super square. But it already has kind of a bluesy sound to it.
Actually, real quick, when you start from that C, if you slide it down one, is it the next scale? Would it be C sharp blues scale?
Or? Oh, right here?
Yeah. So if you slide it over.
Yeah.
So the next note would be the next one over, right? You would slide it.
Oh, wait. What do you?
You start from the 2nd fret. Like if you start from the 2nd fret, what key is that in? If you're doing blues scale.
Oh, right here. If my first note is 2.
Yeah.
Oh, so this would be D minor.
D minor.
D minor blues.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. So that scale progression, you can keep moving it all the way down. Is that?
You can keep moving it, right?
Got it.
Right.
Okay,
I mean,
cool.
same thing as you would do with a C major scale.
Got it. Rhea asked, so the notes are C, D, flat then? I guess that was the question.
C, D, C, E flat.
D flat. Oh no, it says C, D flat then? I don't know.
E flat. Should be C, E flat, F sharp. And the F sharp is the actual blues note.
Ah, okay. Awesome.
G, B flat, C.
Ah, awesome.
I'm available for lessons, guys.
Yes. Oh yeah.
If you want to learn more, yeah.
Abe is awesome.
Segue
into the lessons.
Promoting me as an instructor as well.
Yeah. All right. Nikki Bear has a question. I think it's it's kind of a question, but you were talking about strumming louder, but she strums harder, then her fingers get stuck in the strings. So. Is there any way to prevent that?
It might have to be the angle of your strumming finger. Mm-hmm. That it might be too perpendicular to the strings, and it should kind of be at an angle so that it doesn't matter how aggressive you're strumming, it should still just kind of brush over the strings there. If you're perpendicular to the strings, and I'm trying to pull my hand this way, it can't go, and my finger's actually getting caught there. So that's probably what's happening is you're too much at a 90-degree angle. You kind of need to be more at a angle like this,
Okay, go.
So that, and the thing is, if you're coming too much at a 90-degree angle, that's actually what can cause your finger to bleed and cut your skin, and we don't want that. And I've seen that happen too. Okay. And it's not fun. It's not fun.
Not pretty. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
All right.
It hurts actually. It really hurts.
Question. I don't have a name. It's No1026, and
okay.
They're asking, how has drumming helped your playing?
That's a good question. I mean, the obvious reason is that it's helped me play a lot of different rhythms, a lot easier on the uke. So when I do my solo pieces, there's multiple rhythms going on, and even when I'm doing the like just a random finger picking thing, I'm thinking rhythmically all the time. So that translates because when your right hand, again, your right hand, provides the beat. It's the pulse to the music.
The rhythm.
It's the rhythm, right? That's what your right hand is doing. So that's why I say, um, pay more attention on what your right hand is doing, because that provides. This will determine how your music feels, your tempo, your rhythm. So as a drummer, luckily, I just kind of bypassed that step because it was already in me. And I've been playing ukulele for, what is it now? Like 17 years,
Oh
and
my God.
that sounds like a long time. But I've literally been playing drums for a lot, like more than doubled, I believe, than 17 years. So the drumming is like in my blood. Um, what you guys can do, though, as ukulele players is practice with some type of steady device, whether it's a metronome or like a backing track. And gosh, there's so many tools and resources out there that you could use, and apps or whatever, and you can input the chord changes and have it play back. So practice. When you do that, you'll strengthen your internal sense of rhythm and time.
Awesome, Abe. All right, we are towards the end. Thank you, everybody, for your questions. Do you want to play a
Oh,
little bit? Do you want to hear a little song from Abe?
I might have to. Can
Oh
I
yeah,
can I
yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
plug my
Totally,
books?
totally. Plug everything. Here we
Plug
go.
my books. Check out
There's.
my books. So I got one jazz book there, and then this one that I came out with a few months ago. This is it's tab music off of my latest recording, off of this recording here. Check my website for some bundle packages that I'm selling. Um, yeah.
Yeah. Also, do you guys want to hear? If you guys want to hear Abe play a little bit, I want to see some. Yeah, yeah. But let me give you
Okay.
before we have you play. I'm just going to share with you. There's some upcoming events.
Okay.
Abe is going to be part of one. And
I'm gonna switch to my phone charger
all
just
right,
real
go for
quick,
it.
so I might lose you. I
Oh, we
don't know.
might lose him. So go ahead, and then
Still there? Okay, cool.
we're still there. All right, cool. So there
Okay.
is going to be this event that's coming up that Abe's going to be part of, and I think I just lost you, Abe. We just lost Abe, I think. But this is going to be the event. Are you back? Uh-oh, here he comes. Reconnecting. Poor. Are you back, Abe? Uh-oh, I think we lost him. Dun, dun, dun. We did lose him, but here is the. Actually, this is one event that's going on today, and I'm gonna check this out. There's a lot of great artists. Actually, where is the event that was his? And here is the event for the Oh, not this one. I'll show you that one later. Dang it. Where did it go? There is Craig Chi. Dun, 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 dun. We'll stop here. Craig Chi event is going on May 5th. Check out his event. They're doing another. Oh, actually, I think this is it. Boom! There it is. Craig and Sarah's mini Ook Fest 2, and Abe's going to be part of that. And that's going to be awesome. Dave's Island Instruments, we're going to be doing an Ook social. Oh, not this one. Sorry. We're going to be doing an Ook social this Wednesday. Stay tuned. And Abe is trying to come back. Hold on a second. Bink. Reconnect. I'm trying to reconnect to him. Oh man, where did he go? You're losing. We lost everybody. All right, we're having technical difficulties. Sorry for the technical difficulties. We're gonna probably see if we can come back on, and we just lost everybody. So we will try to get back on here in a second. I'm gonna disconnect.